Every new model of generative AI, it's producing better and better resolution, but it's still sometimes a little bit too small. So I want to share with you my workflow and my notes that I'm using in the work to upscale images. As well, I'll show you principle of upscaling. So if you decide to create your own nodes, you'll know how to manipulate and how work with this. Feel free to use the code, take the Python script, disassemble, see how it's work, and improve as well. We have two workflows that we're going to look. One is utilizing FLUX model, and another one's utilizing SDXL. The reason is using SDXL because it's much smaller footprint, it's work faster, and require way less VRAM. FLUX, as example, on my RTX 3090, it takes quite a bit memory and run a little bit slow. It does produce somewhat better result in some cases, but SDXL still work just fine. So let's look what happening here. You can see we have our image preloaded before we run through all nodes. We also have our analyzer, which is split on those tiles. And notice each tile is 512 by 512. It's what recommended for the best on SDXL performance using. And our final upscale, it's 2048 by 2048. And our original image, 1024 by 1024. So this is kind of give you preview on a tiles preset here to see which segments it was using. And this is usually how upscale work. It just take your image, if needed, separate on small tiles, and after increase each tile in size, scale up. Even maybe this is 124. If we look, this is 4 tiles, it's what will be 512. But because we're multiplying, and in this case, I think by 2, I changed to 3. Okay, if for example, like for 2, then it will be, we need to decrease each square by 2, so it's later it will increasing. So in this case we're almost doubling. Currently I think each square we're checking right now, it will be about 2056 by 2056. This is each square. Split it, extract it, and work. Besides just render each square, we have additional problems, and problems is when you render, they won't be matched here on a stick, so we need to have a padding as well. And I'll show how you can specify this padding. Otherwise, if you render without padding and you're going to the preview, you'll notice lines will going on a stick, definitely visible. So we actually need kind of apply to the padding in this case. Right here, we're preloading our image. We have our planner, which is actually take a lot of work on the back end, help you, for example, it determine image ratio, image resolutions, and properly realign, because by latent space we are limited for the SDXL. You not necessarily can have it 512 by 512. You can have it 513 by 511. Example sizes are different. So as long as they're using exactly the same latent space, and this is will take care of on this. You can see we have a tile width and height output, so this is will generate our tiles. As well, we have additional information. You can also control the noise from here, which is automated, but I would recommend for you just play around with the noise by yourself. And this is mostly it's help to add additional details. The noise you added, more details will be, but it's more deviate from original image. Okay, well, going next, it's our target height width, and right here you can see we have it size measuring to the magnifications right now, because we just used magnification value of 2, and we can of course set as example to 3. Our width height we can preset if you need this one, and our model currently SDXL. Other ones is using the FLUX, and our VRAM you can set to what you have it. This is kind of help you depend on preloaded models or how many segments will do it. Magnify, for example, by 50, it will be huge image, and your computer, I don't know if it's gonna handle this type of VRAM, or it start using normal RAM and it slow down incredibly. So just watch out, because you do have limitations on how much you can increase in size. So down below we have our caption, and we are using Florence for this. So this will help us to have a tile prompt for each teeny tiny square, so you can utilize this for the captions. And as well, we just leave it as default in this case. We have our also performing, notice right here, upscale sharpening, so it is upscale overall image, and also we'll start using with the tiles. Okay, so this is determine our size. And this is down below. This is just a preview, so for you to see how many tiles it will be splitted. We're also loading right here our checkpoint. Currently it is SDXL base. You can switch this to select different models. Maybe you would like to utilize or use it German or some other ones type of the database. It's fine to switch there. Notice it is utilize full checkpoint, so it's not just diffusion model. It's need to include diffusion model, clip, and via together. And here is our custom upscaler. This is like included case sampler and more to this. So we'll set this by default. You can change them as well. And of course the chest, it's how the render happening, and chest parent or linear, how it will position the tiles. We can use this one. Here's a tile padding and mask. You can change. If you see more lines, just increase for the more padding size around. So you can kind of try to use this one, and as well the additional options like in your case sampler. So after you run, you will have it your preview, and you can have it your save image, and you can see it is higher resolution. It's saved right there. Upscale our image. General, I just like how with the separation and tiling it's works. So it's kind of fast, nice model working this. If we look on a FLUX, this is a little bit different, but in general it will be about same. We're preloading our image processing. We have our information coming here. We're preloading our FLUX processing. So it's a very similar to what we have before, just a little bit different. Put it kind of a note here because I'm working heavily with these nodes and I'm improving them all the time. So it's possible soon we'll have it even more upgraded in new models, new workflows, maybe new custom nodes, because I'm working and polishing them all the time. If you decide to give it a try and use them and see if you like it, don't forget to click this notification button or subscribe so you'll know when I will release new models for you, new workflows. Let's go say right here we have magnifications 3, and if we run processing, you can see it does change. So now we have different tiles. It did calculate it. It's also calculated what tiles need to be, what SDXL model can upkeep it. Next, it's also preform our captions. Remember, on the tiles, it's need to define what is happening, so we can reuse inside our hypertile the prompt compositors. So we'll have it possible. And right now, it will start generate. As it generate, we can go ahead and click, look right here. You'll see it's generating 22 total frames because on the size, it's generating just past 1. Now we have a 2. So it will generate all of those teeny tiny areas, and after combined together, you can see it's a 3072 by 3072. So it's actually have very good details. Even we can zoom quite a bit closer here just to compare. So if we're going to original, this is about all, and you can see it's already have a blur effect, kind of does not process. I do like generative upscale because it's not just increased sharpness of the lines, it's also fill up with details as it's more zoom in. Thank you for watching this video. Remember, all resources down below in the link, and we'll see you next time.